Welcome back, college football fans around the world, and it is time to talk about the Miami Hurricanes versus the Savannah State Tigers. These two teams will be facing off this Saturday, September 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at Hard Rock Stadium. Now, before we hop into the details on this preview video, I do like to mention that I have launched my faith-based apparel website, forgivengear.com. I'll throw an ad up on the screen real quick and just let you guys know that there are Miami Hurricanes themed shirts on there, as well as just faith-based shirts as well. And 10% of profits from my website I donate straight to St. Jude, so you are also helping children in need as well as supporting the channel. I'll show you guys. I'm wearing one of the shirts now. This is a word cloud shirt. It has words on it they form the U on it, words like faith, family, the U, swag. I think they're pretty dope, so check them out. And also, if you would like to be featured on the big screen back behind me, make yourself famous on YouTube, send me your picture in Miami Hurricanes gear to bcooper0328@gmail.com. If you send me one and it doesn't get up, like you notice the one behind me where the screen is black, that means that for some reason that file is not supported. So if you don't see yourself on there and you've sent me a pic, send me another one, send me 2 or 3, and we'll try to get you up on the big screen. But without further ado, let's hop into the meat of this preview video. Now, some history between these two teams, the Miami Hurricanes and Savannah State Tigers. The last time Miami and Savannah State played was back in 2013, so it's been quite some time ago. Now, the final score to this game was Miami 77, Savannah State 7. And yes, you heard that right. It was one of the only times that I have ever, in my history of watching college football, seen a game actually shortened. They actually, at the start of the fourth quarter, instead of being a 15-minute quarter, they cut it down to a 12-minute quarter, and the clock continued to run regardless of what happened. Now, Savannah State's record since that game is 7-45. I'm just giving you a minute to let that sink in. 7-45. Now, I'm going to be 100% real with you guys right now. I had to eat crow, literally eat crow with the trash talk that I threw out there in the Miami versus LSU preview video. Now, Miami players and fans are both still picking up the pieces of our shattered hopes and dreams from the LSU beatdown. But if you can't suck it up and continue on and look forward, then you might be watching the wrong sport. Although Miami took a big fat L against LSU, the players and the fans should not be ready to throw in the towel and just give up on the season. I can assure you that the players are not ready to give up. And there might be some fans that are. There might be some bandwagon fans that are jumping ship. So be it. My thing is, you have to look forward. It's in the past. It already happened. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. So let's carry on. Let's move forward. And let's look into the future and focus on our upcoming opponents. So stats so far for these two teams. I just like to throw a few numbers out there. Total passing yards for Miami so far, 259. Savannah State, 23. And no, that is not a typo. I did not write that down incorrectly. Savannah State passing yards so far this season, 23. Miami rushing 83. Savannah State 155. That's not something to shake a stick at. Penalties against Miami so far this season, 11. Savannah State 10. And both of them have 2 turnovers apiece so far this season. So, keys for a Miami victory in this game. Less penalties. I realize that some of the penalties in the LSU game were kind of questionable, but Miami is bad about beating themselves. Let's be real. We put ourselves in some pretty bad situations, and penalties often contribute to that. Let's see if we can keep it under 7 penalties this game. Number 2, Fiegels. Miami's punter must be better. Period. No middle ground, no in between, no, well, he's maybe a little bit better. He has to be better. He had 2 punts that were over 50 yards in this game that I think happened maybe in the 3rd or 4th quarter, but his initial punts were for 34 yards and 22 yards. That is pitiful, honestly. Special teams play is very important in college football, and the punt game is no exception. And speaking of Fiegels, I made the joke that I think that I could punt better for Miami, so we're going to go out. There's going to be a video probably uploaded Friday or Saturday. I'm going to go out, test my punting skills, make a punt open tryout video that I'm going to make, and we're going to see if we can actually punt better than Fiegels, or see if maybe it's harder than I think it is. So stay tuned for that coming at the end of the week. And lastly, keys for Miami Hurricanes victory. Play calling and QB play must be better. Must be better. Must be so much better. And be prepared, because these 2 might make the list every week. I'm going to be real with you guys. The offense looked very vanilla, which is a very common complaint with Miami fans. There really wasn't a lot of motion. There was no audibles. It just looked plain, simple, and boring. Just honestly, we looked like we didn't have an answer for anything. We looked very just bland and lifeless on offense, with the exception of 1 or 2 big plays, a couple of players that were actually fighting, namely DJ Dallas and Jeff Thomas. That's about it. So QB play has to be better. Rozier was very inconsistent, looked like a high schooler out there. Just going to be real, just calling it how I see it. So QB play has to improve. Rozier, you got to get better, my man. And the play calling, it's just plain and simple. It's got to be better. Now, keys for a Savannah State victory. You may be asking yourself, how in the world could Savannah State possibly win this game? Here's how. Number 1, don't be intimidated by Hard Rock Stadium. Savannah State, you've got to take it in and enjoy it, because Hard Rock Stadium can be loud. If Savannah State starts out nervous and has several turnovers, it's over. Number 2, Savannah State will have to have more than 23 passing yards. Take a moment and think about this. Name a team for me that has had 23 passing yards in a game and won that game. I'll give you a minute. I'm not literally going to give you a minute. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds, because it doesn't happen. There's no reason to even think about it. If you have 23 passing yards in a game, you are not going to win that game. Period. Plain and simple. So Savannah State, if you want to have a chance at beating Miami, you have to have more than 23 passing yards. And lastly, Savannah State, y'all not going to win this game. I'm just going to be real and straight up with you. I honestly can't think of another thing for this list. Now, Miami, do not sleep on Savannah State. Don't you do it. We can't afford to sleep on any team for the rest of the season if we even want to have a chance to be in the talks for the college football playoff or the ACC championship. So please do not sleep on Savannah State. And I do always like to mention ESPN's matchup predictor. They have Miami's win percentage chance coming in at a whopping 99.9% and Savannah State coming in at a 0.1% chance of winning. However, I don't pay much attention to the ESPN matchup predictor. Oftentimes, they are not very close. They get it wrong a lot. So I'm going to give my score prediction for this game. For the Miami Hurricanes versus Savannah State Tigers, I have the Miami Hurricanes pulling out a W, a comeback from that embarrassing loss against LSU. Miami winning 45-7. I honestly am giving Savannah State 7 points because, let's be real, Miami's offense is having a difficult time still, it seems, in this 2018 season. So the defense at some point is going to get gassed. They're going to get tired, and Savannah State is going to march down the field and at least put up one touchdown. So 45-7 is my prediction. Let me know down in the comment section below what your score prediction is for this game. I'm still pumped and excited to be a Miami Hurricane. It's a long season. A lot of teams took an L in that first week. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. It is what it is. So pick your head up, Miami Hurricanes fans, and let's beat that Savannah State booty. And let's carry on with the season, and let's look forward, guys. But remember, guys, we are all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. College football vids, peace out, guys.